It's Friday night on Still Talk, and Neil and I is banging on about, well, stuff.
Aye.
Still Talk stuff.
Still Talk stuff. Yep, important stuff.
Where were we last weekend, Neil?
We were in the wee Toon.
We were in the wee Toon. And if you don't know, the wee Toon is Campbeltown.
Campbeltown, and we were camping at the Macrahanish camping site, which was just awesome.
It's
awesome wee site.
It's a Still Talk 10. I mean, it really was. Well, we were in the cabin with the hot tub and all the facilities. I mean,
and we were in the wee wigwam. Wee wigwam, which was perfect because we were barely ever in it.
We were out and about quite a lot.
Well,
so we have a box.
Trying to get into Dave's hot tub.
We have a box. Now, I did offer.
Dave, you did, but it was,
he forgot his Speedos.
It was the thought of no Speedos that was bothering me.
We have we have a box of, well, basically last
your
weekend.
Birthday present.
Well, it basically tells the story.
Right, so we're going to line them all up.
Are we going to? Well, we're going to pour a dram first, or are we going to?
Okay, pour a dram. What are we having?
Well, what are we going to have?
Are we going to crack open one of these bottles of mine?
Or are we going to crack one?
Are we going to go for? Right, will we go for this?
Never before have we had so much choice on Still Talk. So this is what you get. So here's one I actually opened up.
Oh, is that what it looks like?
I brought mine earlier.
Oh, right.
So maybe we should have.
So this is how it arrives.
That's how it arrives. So we'll let you know, to do the actual Springbank tour.
Yes, let's be a bit
You get one all over the place because we need a dram. Once we get a dram, we'll get organised.
We're just excited.
Springbank tour. If you take lots of people, you get it down to something like £11. I think it's normally £12. You get one of the best tours, if not the best tour that we've ever had in a whisky distillery, and you get a 10-year-old Springbank, which you can drink. But if you're driving, you get one of these. This is Jasmine's sample. And you get, as Neil just showed you, and inside there you get one of these and a glass.
Right. I'm going to open this, rustle this while you stop talking, because I was quite cognizant that when you were talking and I was rustling, probably wouldn't be able to hear anything. So this was Springbank Distillery in the wee Toon, Campbeltown, and it comes. Some poor person in the distillery has to sit and wrap all these up.
Yeah.
But it's.
And they do a very good job, because as you
certainly
can
do.
see,
Yeah,
it's actually very nice. I don't know whether you've torn it or not, but it's actually a very nice map, which I never looked to see if it's the old Toon or the new Toon.
It's the old Toon.
Oh, so it's actually the distilleries.
So you see how they spell Toon? It's Campbeltown.
Campbeltown. Well, there you go. Look at that. I never actually appreciated that before.
I've got one. Well, I've got two actually that are relatively wrinkle free.
Does that by any chance have all the old whisky distillery names on it?
No. It's got some, but it's not.
Got some. Anyway, right, we're doing what we do.
So we have.
What do we have?
Our private bottling.
I have a private bottling for 2024. So we'll just actually. Well, we just have a little taste of this. That'll get us through. We'll talk you through the bottles. So we're drinking mine anyway.
No, you're right.
Well, she's quite pale, isn't she? We better put some more in there in case you can't see it. Oh, as well, just to finish that we're off.
That's what I was thinking. We'll just do that and then we can have the other one. Step it back.
One of the first drams on the Still Talk bar.
Anyway.
Still Talk bar. So cheers.
Cheers.
And we're in Springbank glasses. Very nice glasses, actually.
Cheers to Springbank.
I do like the little logo.
The little logo
badge.
So yeah, Springbank, beautiful old distillery. One of my, it kind of reminded me a wee bit of Tobermory Distillery, because it had that old feeling about it.
So we were in Tobermory Distillery when they were sort of
it was shut down.
Regenerating, weren't they? They were sort of bringing in new stuff, but you could still tell the old stuff.
Yes, so it was, but no, it was quite a.
So what I would say is the way that we've worked our whisky tours over the last couple of years. Well, especially last year, we went to Torvig, which is your new farm distillery, and I'm sure, I think I'm getting right on this, their wash baths are Douglas fir timber, and Rassay is all stainless steel, but both of these distilleries are brand new, and everything's clean. It's like a biscuit factory. Everything's all spick and span. Lots of character, beautiful distilleries, but everything's new, painted, and clean.
And they've got computers.
And It's almost kind of how you imagine a distillery. I'm not going to say a food place, a drink place, what's the word? It makes things that we eat and drink place.
I'll put some pictures up of
Yes.
Springbank's computers.
And then there's Springbank
I'll
Distillery.
put some Springbank computers. Here's a photograph of a couple of their computers.
Also a distillery right in the middle of a town.
Yes.
So you're basically shops, you go along a little road, there's a sign for Springbank Distillery, and you sort of look up, you can't see very much.
Oh.
Little way in, and there's this whole distillery hidden inside, as all, I believe, as much as 32 or 34 distilleries at one point.
Aye. A nice big car park.
Good big car park.
Can't believe we actually managed to get all the windows in.
We managed to fill it.
As you can see in this photograph.
As you can see in this photo, up there, I tell you.
Up there.
Well,
It's now here.
So you walk through the door of Springbank Distillery. Did you have a wee dram there?
That's a spicy one, isn't it?
Oh, that is a spicy one.
Oh.
Oh, nippy, peppery in the end of the tongue.
Oh, it's got a lovely aftertaste. Oh, a real
Honey, sweet,
orangey, citrusy.
light, basically.
Oh, very light.
Light.
Very light. Lovely and light.
So we'll get to that bit, my sort of experience, because that comes at the end of the tour. So you walk through the door of the distillery. And again, the other distilleries that we've been in recently have all been built with coffee shops, receptions,
Yes.
and it's all been built in a way for tourists to go around on tours. Springbank doesn't have that. You basically walk through the door into the malting floors. You walk through the malting floors, you go into the sort of the
Back court, basically.
courtyard,
No, it's back at house, basically.
and
'cause that's got
it's piled full of peat, which goes basically, they allow your dry peat, you've got your wet peat, and they allow all this peat to basically just wash down because they want wet peat. You go back and through, would you call it the kiln?
past the kiln, aye.
Past the
That's
kiln,
aye.
where they put the peat into
Fireplace,
smoke.
aye.
The tour, absolutely spot on. Because normally, you don't see the malting process and how they stop the malting process. You don't see the drying bit. They tell you all of that detail.
Yeah.
You got a handful of barley, you can see it all shooting, and then how do they stop it? Well, they basically choke feed this big sort of ogre, which has got a peat kiln underneath it. Dry peat to get it going, wet peat for the smoke. Even the actual how they dry and germinate or get this malting started, all about opening windows and closing windows, all depending on the temperature. Old school, proper old school. And then you walk up through and it shows you all of their mash. But all the way through, there is this earthiness, this dampness, isn't there? There's this,
Which comes through in their whiskey.
which they're actually after. Everything's just, I had a few people saying that they were convinced that it was actually all on show. It was like wandering around an old museum. And then at the very, very end, after you've been through all of this process and lack of technology, as Neil was talking about earlier, what is their computer?
Well, here it is here. I've already shown them the computers.
Oh, was that on the...
No.
Was that on the...
That was
So
on
basically it's a piece of hardboard with a bit of chalk. It's basically that.
It's perfect.
And then you go into the bond. And the bond is dark, damp, wet, on the soil.
Lovely.
Now, I can't quite remember. This is something I learned. I can't remember the name.
Dunnage is on the soil when it's
So
not
you
soil.
leave the barrels on the soil because you basically want that.
Well, they're not actually.
no, they're not on a couple,
they're on
couple of
staves.
bits of 3x2.
Yeah.
And they want the air to blow through. They want the wet, the damp. I mean, the ivy's growing through.
Well, it's
And then you actually walk indoors. You get a little taste of this clean, fresh spirit. And then you walk into the bar and there's just this lovely, warm feeling, isn't it?
and that's what's the bar made of?
The bar is made from the
old
wash
back.
wash bath, whatever it's called. But it's a very, 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 very cool bar. Where we go, well, I think we got treated very well, didn't we?
It's very well. Yes, it was one of the. Yes, I think it was one of the nicest distilleries we've been in. But to say that,
Nicest, you say nicest. I mean, it's nicest. I don't think that's the word that would sort of.
most atmospheric, maybe.
Yes.
Most atmospheric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Authentic. Yeah. I'm just
Aged.
standing here just to dive. The badges look very nice,
Badges look very nice.
but can we get some slotted dome head screws on them instead?
Oh,
of,
do you think that's what we need?
I think that's spoiling it. Yeah,
Yeah, well, good point. No, good point. Thanks for that.
I'll bring you some. I'll bring you some. I've got some.
When's the last time you actually tried to use a slot screwdriver,
Yeah, but
especially
the
powered?
The holes are already there.
You take your fingers
Yes, you
off
do.
if you power it. We'll get a Yankee.
I used to
We'll
be
get a
scarred.
Yankee.
I can actually still feel I've got scars on my finger from when
I
was an
thought we were
electrician.
doing very well there.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, Sparkies actually still use slots, but that's because they've got little plastic shrouds round about them.
Oh, you know, the sockets are now coming with crosses on them, and then you put a wee plug in. Sorry, did I get us distracted? Sorry. Carry on, Dave. Carry on.
Well, we done
Gorgeous distillery.
the tour. Like I say, £12. You got all of that plus what you just seen here for £12. Absolute bargain.
And
the
we
next
also got-
bargain
yes. We
was
got
it
the
£30, £35,
25?
£25.
£25.
We got the what
Half
would you
a
call
dozen.
it? The extended
Uh-huh.
tour or tasting.
Tasting. Extended tasting, yes. So we had 6 drams.
Which we got basically, yeah, we got one of these
What do you
fellas.
call it again? In the rack?
We
What's
got
it
one of
called?
these fellas with 6 drams
What's
on
it called again?
I can't remember. I wish I did. That's
There's
why I
a
brought
name
it out
for
because I
it.
can't actually remember what you call it. It's
What's the name for that? I'll write it at the bottom. It's in
of them.
subtitles.
It's one of them. This is why we need to do live still talk because somebody can tell
Because
us.
then we wouldn't.
Because I don't know, you don't know. It's not
But
going to
that's
make
only
any
assuming
difference.
somebody's watched.
Well, that's very
So,
true.
so chances of that are probably quite slim. Right, so yes, we had 6.
Mm.
So we had 2 Hazelburn, 2 Springbank, and 2
Peated ones.
Kilkerran.
The peated ones were absolutely gorgeous.
So we did. Aye, that was right. That was right.
To be honest, I
Kilkerran.
remember the 10-year-old being this lovely fresh. It's so hard to believe that this 10-year-old comes out of this dark, dingy sort of, and all of a sudden you get this lovely clean 10-year-old. The 15-year-old, which was the sherry cask and Dave's favourite. Now Whiskey Dave was actually, he was spot on, wasn't he?
Our guide.
Our guide,
He
he gave me his badge. He did. So yeah, Whiskey Dave was. What I did quite funny, I did find this quite sort of amusing was, you've got 6 drams, and they were good generous
Decent.
drams, good sized drams.
Not as
Sort of-
generous as Dave.
Not still talk drams, but they were good still talk, good drams. And it was, he started off by saying that there's 6 drams here, now take your time, we're not going to rush you. And then obviously somebody at the bar was going, because this was already about 4:30, and it closes at 5. So, we did, if you notice, we took our time on the first 2, and then all of a sudden Whiskey Dave picked up the pace.
Yeah, I didn't think that.
And we were fair knocking them back.
And then, but no, they were lovely. There was, I would say there was 3 that I really, really liked. But we'll get to that.
So there were 6 that we really, really liked. But there was,
Well, that's true.
I liked, I liked the 10-year-old. I don't actually remember the first 2 too much.
Oh no, the second
The second one.
was really
But
nice.
the 10-year-old just
we need to.
stands out.
We need to get some more details for
The
it.
15-year-old stands out. Which kind of, we'll get to that. We'll get to the box
And
of
what was the last
stones.
one we had?
It was the smoky fella, wasn't it?
Ah.
It really was was a cracking dram.
Was that 31? No.
It was a 20. Was it a 20-year-old dram?
20-year-old.
It was an absolute. I mean, to be honest,
So if you're,
a bargain, an absolute bargain.
so I think we should wind this one up with
I
a
did.
closing one. If you're anywhere near that distillery,
Nobody's anywhere near
Glasgow.
Campbelltown.
like Glasgow,
Like
if you're
Glasgow.
anywhere near it, just take a 3-hour journey
It's so worth it.
and go and have a wee look there, and have a wee look, have a wee walk down Macanahannish Beach as well, because that's well worth a look as well.
Yeah.
And there's also a wee tea room that I'll put the link in the description below. You can pop in there too.
So Campbelltown, if you like your whiskey and you like your history, you've only got to take a little walk round Campbelltown with your eyes open, And you don't have to get a guide to go and show you these distilleries. These old distilleries, you can just see them. And a little bit of knowledge on the supermarket is at Tesco's now. But the architects sort of put a nod towards this is how it was. They're just everywhere. It's carved into the stone. There's arches that you can look through. You can still see the painted. It's just everywhere. If you like your whiskey, Campbeltown, it's just fantastic.
And you don't even get a ferry.
Well, I got 2 ferries.
I know you did, but we didn't.
Got 2
You
ferries.
can't get there if you don't like going in a boat.
Yep. I passed
Excellent.
2 distilleries to get to the distillery.
Right.